With the above example, I hope you appreciate a little better on the visual analytic processes that might happen. I would like to conclude our discussion on visual analytics by focusing on this key idea of analytical reasoning. All we want to do is to support human to make judgment based on the evidence we can find from data. When we need to make a judgment and reasoning, we will have to make assumptions. The idea is how can we reason about the evidence and use proper assumptions to make a judgment. Okay? This process usually is ill-defined, is not well structured. However, there are some rules, there are some regularities we can explore. So analytical reasoning will have to employ human judgment, and we have to employ computational or visualization approach to be used as a supporting technology. Okay? One of the things that emphasize intelligence community is to facilitate a structured analytical reasoning. Structure means we need to have good evidence to form reasonable hypotheses that can be tested and concluded and presented in a well-structured way. Okay? So at the bottom of the slides, we show the general idea of analytical reasoning as the center or as the top of the guiding process. As we looking into this process, we have to explore what data we have, what kind of insight we look for, whether in the form of question or in the form of goals or visions. Okay? The gap between this data and insight will be filled by visual analytic reasoning and processes, and as well as the assumptions we have to make. Intelligence analysis is a typical example where the structured analytical reasoning has been applied to sense-making process. For those who are involved in intelligence analysis, I would like to direct you to the theory called intelligence cycle, which has 5 key steps: planning, collection, processing, exploration, and reporting dissemination. This is a well-documented. Underneath all the processes of an analytical reasoning, there's a limited set of basic tasks that are subject to many of the research. So many of the advances in visual analytics has been focusing on facilitating these basic tasks, like searching, comparison, and looking for patterns, etc. So we have very good tools in doing these tasks. However, for high-level reasoning, we need a better tools or better environment to synthesize those tasks. Analytical reasoning is a skill learned through practice. Many of the common sense practice of analysis doesn't go far in complex problem solving. Okay. So what we emphasize in this course is to follow a more stepwise or structured way, starting with asking yourself, what is a problem that you're trying to address? The way you frame problem may not be adequate or detailed enough at the first, but maybe enough for you to start collecting data. And as you have some piece of evidences, you need to take a look at this data and see whether they piece together. Okay? The most difficult part of analytical reasoning is that we all bring a lot of common sense assumption or belief that could block us from discovering insights. So make sure you challenge what you believe and looking from different angles. Okay? And you also should try to generate multiple, even competing hypotheses where you can evaluate the pros and cons and how the data support them or reject. Whenever there's multiple evidence for certain hypotheses, it's actually discover some problems either with the data or with the hypothesis. Okay? So by triangulation among multiple evidence, you're going to find more reliable, more confident indicators So the reliability comes from the wise use of evidence, okay, and weigh upon multiple evidences for judging the quality of your hypothesis.